for you and your team last Saturday? You know, a comeback road win against a very, very athletic team.
You know, I was very pleased with the way we came back and won that game, and it was a different way of winning the game. We had the lead early, and 14-0 lead, and we lost the lead, but then we found a way to get it back in the fourth quarter, and it was just another way to get a win and see our kids fight through and battle and make something happen. And I'm proud of the way they came back, and I'm pleased with the way they fought, and they're coming close to be a pretty good team. They're not quite there yet, but they feel like a family. They're acting like a family, and they're doing things that they need to do.
Travion in postgame said had that happened earlier in the year, you guys may not have been able to come back and win. Do you feel like now that that's a correct statement?
I think so, just because of confidence. Get some confidence out of those first 3 wins. They got that fourth one now, and it's just a confidence boost. When they believe themselves, and they know they can make the plays. And it was very calm on the sidelines. Our guys felt like they had that game won. They're going to find a win that ball game, and that's good to see when you got your kids doing those things. And there's no negativity. They weren't pointing any fingers, and they were pumping each other up. And when you start doing those things, you're pretty proud of your kids and the things that they're doing.
In some weird way, did it help that there was nobody on your sideline crowd-wise to help razz it a little bit? I mean, if that happens here at Fort Hays, the home student section is going to be all over the visiting team.
Yeah, it was a little different, and I think it kept us a little more focused, than when we're on the road, because it's hard not to get involved sometimes with the crowd, especially when the things that they're saying to you and the taunting and those things. But our kids stayed pretty focused and understand what we needed to get done, and they did a good job.
Coach, that's 3 second-half comebacks on the road, and really the last year. Southwest Baptist and Kearney last year, and of course last Saturday. Any trends or parallels between those three?
I don't know. Hopefully we just start taking the lead and keep the lead. But that's still to come. Kids are young, they're still trying to understand what we're doing and trying to figure things out and trying to figure out how to win ball games. And we're just not quite at that point yet. We're learning how to finish teams off, and hopefully our kids start doing those things and learn them and just take care of business and get it done.
Obviously, Travion threw the ball extremely well, but he threw the ball to a lot of wideouts. Was that kind of game plan maybe hit so many times?
Yeah, it came down to more what they were doing to us. They were playing a lot of main coverage, and we were trying to find the open receivers. There were leaving a couple guys uncovered, and he found those guys, and that's huge. When he can start making those reads and making those things happen for you. So he's continuing to get better, and we're going to try to hit as many receivers as we can just to keep them off balance. And if we can do those things, it's hard for our defense to defend.
Despite the extracurriculars, your team kept a very level head in the game.
They did. The very start of that game was very scary. When they kind of came out to the 50, jawing at us, taunting at us, and it was hard to rein those kids back in. And it was something I preached to our kids all week. Hey, you got to be ready for this. Expect it. And a few of them got out of hand, but we reined them right back in and got them ready. And it was all through the game. But our kids did a good job of staying collected and calm and cool and just playing the game the way it was supposed to be played.
This offensive line is still not giving up a whole lot of sacks. Do you feel like that they have really come on?
They've come a long way since the beginning of the year, and a lot of those are Travion's feet as well. But I think those are the things we do in practice. We spend at least 5 minutes a day just working on protections with our backs and our line, just to make sure our quarterback doesn't get hit and keep it protected. And we've done a good job of it. A lot of communication, great talking, and knowing exactly what's coming at us, and that goes to film study and the coaching. So and the kids themselves understanding what we want done and doing it on their own. So I'm proud of those kids for picking up what we need to get done and taking care of our quarterback.
Coming up on these last 3 games, it seems like these are teams that are kind of on the same level where you guys are at. I mean, quality of kids and wins that you'd like to pick up. I mean, are these next 3 games going to tell us where Tiger football is?
And I hope so. I hope we can come out and do the things that we need to do to win these next 3 ball games. We got to worry about this first one, of course, first. But I feel like we'll get closer. We're still a very young team, and our kids are still trying to figure out exactly what we're doing, all across the board. But they're getting closer to getting there. We still got to get stronger. We still got to get faster. We still got to be more explosive on the field and make better plays. But we need to go out this weekend and win this game and do it, in a good fashion and play hard and play physical. And I think we're getting close, but we're nowhere near where I think we got to be here in the next couple of years.
Obviously, Travion's feet are a great strength, but he has ran the ball more than any other quarterback in this conference. Going back on film, is he running more out of a play, or is he more running out of fear and scrambling around?
It's kind of, some of our play calling involves him making a read, and if it's different, him pull it, he's going to pull it and go. And, defenses, they like to get hits on quarterbacks, so they're going to make him run as much as possible. And then some of it just goes to his feet, it's not there, so I got to pull it and go. And he done a better job of doing that. He's starting to learn how to run out of bounds and get down, when he needs to. So it's part of the scheme, and it's part of, just him doing it on his own.
Judging by numbers, records, and all the above, it seems like that this is a better minds team coming in than a year ago.
Yeah, very, very good team. And on offense, they got two great quarterbacks that play, at any time during the game, and they got some great receivers. They got a great tailback as well, and their O-line is very solid, and defensively, they're, from what we've seen on film, they're a solid defense, and they're going to play some man coverage and give you some fits in the run game with just how many guys they put in the box, and count those guys that play man coverage. And we got to try to find a way to loosen them up a little bit, but they're a good football team. Just seeing the things that they do on film, we got to be prepared and ready to go in this game for a battle.
Obviously, Mines has had some lopsided scores one way or the other way. How many of their games you guys actually studied?
We traded actually 4 games with them. That's all they wanted to do. We were trying to get as many as possible. They traded 4 with us, and that's what we got to go off of. And they stayed very similar week to week. And you saw they don't come out this week and change things up totally different than what they have been. But it is what it is. And you get the film that you got, and you got to study and prepare your kids for anything.
Your team lost 4, you won 4. There's 3 games left. In a way, is this almost like a new season, these last 3 games, just from the aspect that you're back to 500 and you get a chance here to be a better team?
It is. I told our kids we're back to 0-0 right now. It's a new season. It's time to start over, and we got to go find a way to try to win these next 3 ball games and do it in great fashion and do it the way it's supposed to be done. And it's just doing the basics and fundamentals. And I think that's a lot of what kids get away from. The last part of the season is working their technique, working their fundamental, and doing those little things to help them win ball games. And hopefully our kids are honing in on that and figuring out what we want done and learning their assignments the way they didn't learn this week. And hopefully that carries on next week as well.
To a certain extent, all coaches worry, all coaches feel stress. After 0-4, was there a stress on your behalf? Maybe this year's done, or do you kind of feel we can come back?
No, I have a great feeling those kids will come back and do some good things, and it's just keeping them positive. And a lot of it just comes back to your kids' attitudes, and their attitudes were great. Through those first 4 games, and knowing that we're getting into the last part of the season, and our kids were confident that they felt like they could play with these teams and have a chance to win these ball games, and they've done that so far. But it goes all back to your kids that believe in the coaches and in each other, and being a part of the family and trusting in their family. And our kids have done that. And I think that's why they've excelled so well these last few weeks.
Several of the players have mentioned how it took a while for everybody on the team to buy in, whether that was first year, second year, or now. How much does winning help, just in the aspect of kids going, okay, coaches know what they're talking about?
Winning has a lot to do with it. When you're winning ball games, they start to believe and trust in you even more. And, that's just something that kids got to learn even when we're losing. You got to trust in what we're doing and trust in the system, and know that your way doesn't work. And they're starting to do those things. And, in the first of the season, a lot of new faces, a lot of kids trying to figure out what we were doing, and they had a little bit to do with it as well. But it was a lot of it was just buying into what we were doing and understanding what we were doing, and know that the things that we're doing are going to work if you just do what we ask you to do.
As a coach, can you tell when kids are starting to have that aha moment?
Yeah, because it just clicks. You can tell they're not thinking anymore. A lot of times you look at them out there on the field and just kind of in awe. What am I supposed to do? And we're kind of getting to the point now where we don't have that anymore, and kids are understanding exactly what they're supposed to do. And now they're playing football instead of thinking and then reacting. Now they're just reacting to what's happening in front of them.
A lot of players said last week that they felt like the season changed after that first win here. Is that maybe something you saw too?
No, I think when I saw a lot of improvement from game 1 to game 2 to game 3 to game 4, and just our kids and the things that we were doing, and they got to continue to do those things through these last 3 games that we got to play here. But I saw the change. Kids don't see the change probably until they start winning, but I could see the change in our kids and the things that they were doing to make themselves better.
Was that just small things in practice, or maybe out here studying film? Or?
I think it came down to their film study, honing a little bit more on the technique and fundamentals of practice, and just doing the things that we asked them to do. And, you know, I think that, you know, they trust in us, they believe in us, and, you know, they believe in their teammates that the guys are going to do what they're supposed to next to them. And, you know, I think it just takes time to get them developed and understand exactly what you want.